crisis situation than any others. And it says rednecks best. And on the shirt it says, if I have any more fun today, I don't think I can take it. And it was 50 cents at a thrift store in Riggins, Idaho, called either name, etc., ECT, or some people just call it ECT. So it's intended to be, they'll have just about anything you can imagine as a product there. Pretty cool. Anyway, this is our Thursday Talk with Wayne session, and we have done this now as of this week, our 8th anniversary of, no, excuse me, our 9th. We started and had our first EAT webinar June 6th, 2016, which means that June 6th of this year is, or was, and did you see what just happened, Mark? Right as my Microsoft clock hit 3 p.m., two note takers, two otters, the two that are always with us on Thursdays came in, Levi's note taker and Yashambel's note taker. And so how are you doing today, Mark? Tell us about Bangladesh and Dhaka and what was the weather like today and what's it going to be like tomorrow and how's your family?
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's usually hot and humid this time of year, and we're getting about the same heat and precipitation as usual. So no surprises. But we are in watch for thunderstorms or hurricanes that might be coming towards the coastal areas. Otherwise, everything is fine. Nothing special is going on. We just had our festivals, so finished that. So yeah, everything is cool.
Your son is how old now? 15 or 16?
He's 16. Yes.
Oh, does he have a driver's license?
No, we actually I he's not interested. I tried to get him to drive. He cannot even start the car, so it's going to take a while.
Well, anybody that's probably over 50 out there and maybe even 40 knows that in the US at least, when you're going to turn 16, when that was like the big thing you needed to be planning for is hoping that it wasn't on a weekend and you could go down and get your driver's license on the day you turn 16. So
I
my
was I was driving way before. I think I started driving when I was 10. So
I'm talking about doing it with a legal circumstance.
legal, yeah, I wasn't legal. Yes.
Um, yeah, and I have this weekend is kind of a holiday weekend, or here in the US, it's Father's Day weekend, and it's also a family holiday weekend for me because my oldest son is having a wedding anniversary. And I think this might be, I know, as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it's kind of one of those important ones. I think it's 20, it's his 20th, because no, it's not. It might be 21 because I have a daughter. Yeah, and Alicia just put up something cool. It's Flag Day is the 14th, which is a celebration of again our heritage here in the United States. And so that's a US holiday. I'm holding a box in my hand that I'm going to show you in a minute because it's a watch that I just got called the Garmin Phoenix 8. And that is it next to the box. And I'm also wearing my Apple Watch on my right hand. And the biggest reason I got this is because I'm using the watch to do way more than just tell time. It's for health purposes. It'll measure about 10 times more things than an Apple Watch will. It has a battery life. I've had one person that I know that's had one for almost 4 months and it's never had to be charged. It's solar. So as long as you get some small amount of sunlight or even just lights from the room on a daily basis, it'll recharge. And so it doesn't have to be charged. My Apple Watch has gotten to where it won't stay charged for a whole day. Literally, it'll be discharged by 4 in the afternoon if I'm using it for anything other than just looking at it to see what time it is. So, so anyway, but anyway, this weekend is a wedding anniversary for my son and daughter-in-law and their family. It is a birthday for my middle daughter. I have four, so she's the second. She's the second from the bottom, so kind of middle. And she's has her birthday over the weekend, and she got that was the reason I was remembering 16 because she turned 16 on a weekend in the year that in the same weekend that my son got married. So she was upset about not being able to get her driver's license the day before to be able to drive, but she couldn't get it because she wasn't 16 yet. And she turned 16 on a Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember which of the days of the week it was, but and then Flag Day, as Alicia pointed out, is this weekend, and Father's Day. She put an interesting um, link in to start the webinar out today, Mark. Look that one up that talks about algae being used by farmers in Arizona. And when you find it, put it up on the screen. Let's quickly look at that.
Okay.
Anyway, um, it is beautiful here in Idaho today and going to be for the rest of the week and through the weekend, meaning in the low 80s temperature wise during the day. A little bit of thunderstorm activity. Not yesterday, there was a little bit of rain, not much. This is typically a pretty dry time of the year. And not super warm yet. So it's not been in the 90s for several days. We did have some 90s earlier in the week, and not 100 like it is in a number of places in the US. No thunderstorms, and Mark's going to be sharing his screen here. So here's, I thought it was probably something kind of coming out of Arizona State. And I don't recognize him right now, but I bet I know whoever the guy is in the plaid shirt there. David Boer left, listens to Cochise County Farmer. I don't know, and that's Ed Curry talk about how he's been able to limit water usage thanks to the implementation. Whoa, you scrolled just a little too fast there, Mark. Wait, to the implementation of a new soil project that uses live native microalgae. Great idea. So, and then what Mark did was showed the next picture that was there at the top. So that is obviously the containers, the bioreactors, they'd be called, that they're growing algae in, and they're going to be used or being used at Curry Farms in Pierce, Arizona. It said there were two pictures. Now it appears there's a third, Mark. So why don't you click there on the right and let's see the third picture. And it looks like that's where they're going to be using it in irrigation water where they're growing onions, no, chili peppers. So now let's read the article. It's probably down below this. So if you could scroll down a little bit. Ed Curry is passionate about the green, red, and yellow chili peppers he grows on a 3,000-acre farm in Pierce, Arizona, 90 miles southeast of Tucson. He's also passionate about saving water. A new technology Arizona State's analyzing is combining his love for spice and conservation. Um, on the farm, we have a saying, make more crop per drop, said Curry. It's very dry. This is high desert where this farm is. Cut water usage whenever we can. He said he's cut it by 50% by going to a drip system, which is probably smart. He was probably either using flood previously or some other kind of irrigation. And now through 10% by another service. My Land, a Phoenix-based soil health company, showed how soil health can drive measurable water conservation. This is achieved by using live native microalgae to improve the soil so farmers like Curry can achieve greater water efficiency, yields, and reduced environmental impact. More than 900,000 acres of irrigated farmland in Arizona, the potential is significant. Yes, it is, and it's a great idea. And by the way, this is not a new idea by any means. Uh, and again, this is just like we've read and heard Elaine Ingham and Mark Shepard and many others talk about, which is if we turn our soil into a living entity in a better way than it is in any kind of a farming situation, rather than having it just be dirt where it's a substrate for the plants to put their roots into, you're going to increase its productivity. So he is reducing water use here because the water he's irrigating with has already got some of those micro organisms and the algae and a number of other things in it that are going to be used to make the soil already more healthy before the plants even are sort of beginning their lives. So anyway, it looks like they came up with the idea 15 years ago. So let's keep going, Mark. Scroll down another part of the page. Back, okay, too far. Whoa, way too far. Back up, let's say, right there. 15 years ago, and that was Brewer. We saw in the picture at the top. So let's open another tab with My Land's website. And there was a link to it up above. It's down below there, Mark. It's not in the pictures. A little bit further down. No, not the Curry. That's the farm where they're using it. My Land, now you're way too far down. It's up farther where it just says My Land and it's a clickable link. Yeah, you could just try it and see what you find too. There it is. There it is. Well, and it is clickable somewhere. None of those are clickable. Huh. It
Yeah,
was
haven't
just
found it.
start another tab and put My Land in and just do a search.
Okay. Is this the one, my land system?
I don't think so. Um,
Let's
Back up
see.
to that soil health. Yeah, I should probably look for it. So notice that that's all coming in Mark's native language, everybody. We're Bangladesh, so it's kind of cool.
Yes, it's regional settings,
Yeah,
but um, let me go back to this one. They have a link here.
yeah, there was
Mm,
one of those where it said My Land, where it was a clickable link.
yeah, none of these are clickable, but uh,
Maybe down at the bottom of the article. No?
none of these are. But I
You
can,
ju- you just used a tool to search an article that I've never used. How did you get it to search for my land throughout the article? Where did you put that in?
I just use Control F and then put the search word
Huh,
in here.
didn't know that you could use that. So Control F will allow that.
Yep. And then it shows all the places.
What if it was in the captions for the pictures? Go to click through the pictures again. Maybe it was that third caption. No?
No, these are not clickable. I mean, this will
Yeah, let's go to Curry
advance.
Farms site. Let's see if they talk about it. I know there was a clickable link for Curry there, Curry Seed and Chili Company right there.
Okay. Now this opens in the same page.
That takes to Curry. So he's been farming for a lot of years.
Oh, here it is. Got it. This one's this
Yeah,
one will take.
yep, he's got it there. Yeah, what does it talk about? Let's click on that where it's got a down arrow with company and see what it says about the company. News and media, we got that article they just wrote. Unlock your lands. Boy, they have 60 employees. It's not a tiny company. So they obviously sell this, I bet they sell a service to farmers. Yeah, click up there where it says service up at the top of the page. They're calling, yeah, it starts with live native microalgae. Um, so what they're doing is they're grabbing it from your farm and from your soil. So it's something that would naturally be there. Scroll down that page a little bit. So they take a soil sample, they culture it, they make it look real biological. And then you have a system that they sell you. Operate and monitor the system remotely. Obviously, they're delivering it. The next one, they show a truck coming, so they deliver it probably to you. Oh no, it's stored in a shipping container. Oh, and those are the tanks that it's in. Okay. Oh, you monitor it. I wonder how many of these they've sold. Be great. We should reach out to these people and interview them. They should be guests the on the webinar. There's their sales number up there at the top, but there's probably another number we can call to talk to people. The company, yeah, click on that news and media on them and see if there's other articles about it there. Scroll down. Washington, they've got systems. Arizona. a lot of this just happening right now. And Farm Together is a group we've actually talked about. I don't know that we've interviewed them, but they're California based in the San Francisco area. Click on that, read more um, for that.
Oh,
I've
this
already,
one?
yeah, that one. Yep. No, it was the wrong one, Mark. It's the third one. That we already seen that one. It's that one. Yeah. Hey, go ahead and scroll down. We've seen the title. All very recent, June 3rd. Stop with that on Farm Together. Farm Together is a farmland investment firm that provides investors with creative capital solutions in real assets. Firm's offerings are curated. I've heard of them. We've even interviewed, I think, some of their principals. I wonder if that they don't, there isn't a clickable link there for Farm Together, is there?
No, this one is not clickable, but I think I should be able to find this on Google.
Yeah, yeah. There we go. There's their site right there. It's the FAQ page, but let's go to their home page there. They're investing in different farm opportunities. Let's see who the people are on there. Click on that company up at the top and see it's got staff names. Leadership.
Do you know any of them?
I do know David Gould. I'm not exactly sure if I remember why, but and let's look at their advice. Let's keep going down, see how many more there are. Don't know any of the others. Okay, let's go back up and click on their advisory board that's right up ahead above there. No, no, it's below that. To the right of that mark over. No, no, it's down, the next row down below there. No, not there. You can't, you're clicking on the wrong thing. It says advisory board right below institutions.
Oh, got it. Got it here. Got it.
No, I don't know any of those people. Go keep scrolling down. Huh, okay. Um, let's see that portfolio. Click on that middle one where there's and see if we can see some of the farms they've invested in.
Mm.
Right in the middle
Let's
of
see.
the page, it says Farm Together Portfolio. Below
Okay.
those pictures, below there. Right in
Okay,
the
right. Yeah.
one in Idaho. Let's see what's in Idaho. Let's see what they've done here.
This one?
No, that's Colorado.
Okay.
Idaho's to your left there. Bespoke row crop. Okay. How about Colorado? Let's look at Colorado. Sustainable Farmland Fund. Huh. interesting stuff. Let's see how you work with them. Yeah, it looks like they go all the way to the property acquisition. Let's look at Oregon. Let's see what it says. There's 9 projects there, just to the left of there we go. Wow, they're into hazelnut. Mark Shepard would like that. Click on that Shoemaker hazelnut orchard.
They want
Okay.
you to log in to
Yeah.
see some.
Oh, it shows pictures of it there. There's the hazelnut. That's not, that's a pistachio. I was gonna say that's not hazelnut. Yeah, they want you to log in there. Make sure to put farm together um, in the chat so that we know it. Anyway, what else have we got? Any other comments or questions from our audience? We picked one, the first one Alicia had. By the way, we've got some new people in the audience today. If you guys wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself in the chat. But what others did Alicia? She usually comes up with some good links, Mark.
She has another link, reducing nutrient loading to the Chesapeake Bay.
Let's
Can look at that.
No, we've seen those before.
Okay.
That's not very innovative or new. That's been around. There's been lots of nutrient inputs in a bad way into Chesapeake for many, many years. Where are you at today, Alicia? Alicia is our unbelievably loyal audience member. She'll usually tell us where she's at in the country. Got a little warmer here today than I thought it was going to. I'm looking at my weather description on my screen. It's 87.
Mhm. Alicia says she's in Wisconsin, WI. So
Oh, yep, that's
yeah,
Wisconsin.
so she travels all over the United States.
Yes, she does. The drone tech uncovers 1,000-year-old Native American farms in Michigan. Oh, yeah, she's in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Eau Claire is near Minnesota. Interesting one. Well, the first link that Alicia had given, they, they found that an archaeological project in Upper Peninsula of Michigan, evidence of the way that Native Americans farmed as many as 1,000 years ago. So the 10th century, and it showed that they were using, it doesn't say this exactly, but that they used berms and swales, much like Mark Shepard teaches, and in areas that are now highly dense forests. So let me take the screen, Mark, and I'll show a little bit about that one. Here's that article that is about drone tech uncovering 1,000-year Native American farms. Oh, wow. Not only was it, they were raised beds even. Uh, they used it, it says from the 10th century to 1600s, and it's still intact. They're 4 to 10, 12 inches in height and used to grow corn, beans, and squash. And it was the Menominee Indian tribe. Very cool. Had an interesting question from one of our um, team members today about articles that we just recite about climate change. And she made a comment, this person did, about, these two articles, and they're the two you published, one last week, one this week, Mark, and what our feelings were about urban climate change and whether we really believed that it was occurring. Well, absolutely, climate is highly influenced by urban development. We've had multiple speakers who've talked about it and shown what happens with rooftops of all different colors. And in the past, many of them being black, it would be very absorbent of sun, and especially in places like where Mark lives, in Dhaka, where there are huge amounts of rooftops, lots of streets, black in color because of asphalt. Um, there's going to be changes in temperature, and it's going to be increased. So there's going to be an increased temperature on the near the soil surface and where people are living, because of the urban environment. There's no question that we believe that's true. Does that mean that that's also happening in rural areas? We're not saying that. We don't know, that's, you don't have quite the same kinds of evidence in those locations, but certainly climate is highly affected by urban environments, urban ecosystems. Um, we should just do a quick search, Mark, because I've got my screen. I think I can put a different tab up. Um, who was our Indian speaker that is growing small microforests in people's backyards, teaching that? Um,
Shuvendu,
yes, how is his name spelled?
I think Shuvendu, Shuvendu,
S-H, what was
U,
after it? S-H
U,
what? You?
SHU, yes. And then
Shavinda?
VN, yes.
I don't recognize any of those Shavinda or any of the names there. I thought his last name was Hundra, potentially.
Sharma,
What?
Sharma,
Sharma?
SHARMA, yes, yes.
Oh,
That's his,
Suvenda, there it is. I think we
yes.
got it. We're close. We just put an extra eight.
Yeah, I was a little bit off.
Not bad, though. Very close.
Yeah,
I just wonder what he's done new since,
okay.
obviously there's something about the shrimp. Oh, by the way, what a horrible circumstance. You heard what happened in India yesterday, right, Mark?
Yeah, I saw Cali in California, right? Uh,
No, no,
oh, India
in
plane
India,
crash. Yes,
plane crash. Yeah.
yeah,
240 people on board the plane, and they weren't sure yet because it landed in it. I mean, it crashed in a very highly urban area, and don't know
yes,
how many injuries and deaths that occurred.
yes.
Um,
Several deaths. It landed on top of residential building where medical students live. So it's like a medical student dorm, and it landed on top of that, and then uh, several deaths occurred, and everybody died on plane. Everybody in the plane were dead.
Now, there's actually a report today that maybe one person survived, but
Maybe
which
yes,
is pretty amazing. But I
yes.
don't. This looks like the same name. Let's see if this is. There's a one Facebook post. This is a friend of mine that published an
Uh,
article about her dog. That's not what we're looking for, but let's not go there. Let's go back. That's obviously not the person. I I wonder, I know Sharma's right, but that Suvida does not sound right. What you said sounded more right.
oh, okay, I got that. I'll put in the chat. Uh, or I can pull up on my screen if you want. I
Yeah, go
got
ahead, take the screen over.
okay. Okay, so I think this is the guy. You might recognize this photo.
Yes, sub-Hindu. That I
Sub-Hindu,
thought
yeah.
we were not even close. Yeah, it's
Right,
sub-Hindu.
Sub-Hindu,
There we go.
yes. Yeah, yeah, this is the guy. So here's Afforest. This is his company,
Yeah.
Afforestation. I think that's his.
And look at new articles, new things as of even just recent. And that's him. And we've had
Yeah,
him speak for us, everybody, twice, I think.
twice, yes. So he came on with us, and this is his website, I think.
And he uses
Afforest.
that Miyawaki method, which is he learned it, if I remember right, he learned it in Japan from
Yes,
Professor Miyawaki.
correct, yes.
Very cool story. So this is his website, everybody. And he teaches you how you could do a forest in just a tiny little bit of a backyard. By the way, I think that picture's kind of old. He's a little older than that now. That looks like an unbelievably young guy.
Right.
Um,
Yep. So yes, he's doing like backyard forest.
yes,
Uh,
back to the forest.
and he's got like street street corner forest, things like that.
Yes.
So I can like pull up some more videos.
Well, he did TED Talks,
Yes, TED Talk too.
how to grow a tiny forest anywhere, how to grow a forest in your backyard. And they're relatively recent, so it looks like he's still being very active. That's very cool.
Mm.
Um, well, let me tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do starting tomorrow. And Mark, I'll take the screen back. So I am going on a cruise
Tomorrow?
tomorrow.
Oh
Yep.
wow, okay.
I mean, we talked about it yesterday, if you remember.
Right.
Um, and we are going from Seattle. Seattle, I'm just gonna see if to Juneau, Alaska, of what's called the Inland Passage. And I think we're on Celebrity Cruises. There's a whole bunch of others. Maybe it's Carnival. Oh no, it is Celebrity. I'm pretty sure it's Celebrity. So here it is. And I don't, Deb's gonna know this, but what the name of our ship is. That's the Space Needle in Seattle, which I've given this story before, which will show how old I am. The Seattle World's Fair was in 1960, I think, when they built that Space Needle, which is still a relatively unique entity. And that is the observation deck that you were seeing there, that from which you can just see all over the area. But anyway, we are leaving tomorrow morning. We fly from Boise to Seattle, and the ship leaves its dock at 1 o'clock or 12:30 tomorrow. And I was hoping it'll show its route here. These are the ports that we'll go to: Ketchikan, Juneau, Skagway, and then also Victoria Island on the way back. It's a famous railway in Skagway. It was a big part of the gold rush in the 1890s, so 130 years ago. I was just hoping it would show them a map of the entire cruise journey. I don't know whether that's the name of the ship we're on or what it is. Say
And how many days is the
eight.
cruise?
Well,
Eight
it's
days.
seven nights, 8 days.
Wow, that's long. Yeah, long trip.
I was hoping it'd show a map. Oh, here we go. View ports and map. Here we are. So it goes from Seattle out into the primary ocean for the first night, I believe, and up to Ketchikan. I've actually got it on my calendar. Deb put on when will be certain places. So today's the 12th. We leave tomorrow. I think we must go 2 days because it doesn't look like anything's happening tomorrow. After we board the ship, or even Saturday, then Sunday, I think we're in Ketchikan. Okay, so now back to that map. We go all the way from Seattle up to Ketchikan. And then I didn't realize Skagway is actually farther north. Juneau is the capital of Alaska, everybody, and Anchorage, which the map probably is up here, up in this area. But so we go Ketchikan to, I don't know whether it's Ketchikan to Skagway. I think it is. and Skagway to Juneau, and then Juneau back towards Seattle, but we don't end in Vancouver. That's in Canada. We go to Victoria Island, which is this right here, in the town, the city of Victoria, and then back to Seattle. So let's see if this is it. Oh, this is later in the year, but probably very similar. Leaves on a Friday, at sea all day Saturday, Ketchikan all day on the third day, Monday all day in Juneau, Tuesday all day in Skagway, and back at sea for 2 full days, and then back in Vancouver Island for the last day. So it'll be fun. So these are glaciers that we'll see and all kinds of sort of really cool geography. And the first part of the trip sort of out into the ocean. The second part's really on the inland passage here, coming back in towards Vancouver, and then back to Seattle. It doesn't show sort of the last picture of it here. I think it's 6 to 8. So let's see what it says results. Wonder if you could even still go tomorrow. The people that had openings even when I was leaving. See, view 23 days. May 29th, June 5th. No, it looks like it's full. So that's what the rooms look like. We have one that's on, that we have a window out the edge. And there's a pool and a hot tub and bands playing every night, Mark. And
Yeah. That is
entertainment.
fun. Right. Live music.
Yeah, Victoria, British Columbia, then Seattle. So yeah, that's the one. Here's our, and it looks like there isn't even any available showing. There's one going right now, but that ended last Friday. See if it's just why, if it goes up in price. Look at how expensive it is in just one trip in August. Wonder why it's so much more expensive then. Here's ours.
Right. Over $1,000.
Although that's next year. It's not even this
Okay.
year. Yeah, it doesn't even, they're not even any available for
7,000,
summer.
8,000.
Yeah, look at this,
Wow.
22,000 now. If you want to try
Wow.
to book them right now, they're just ridiculously expensive.
Wow.
Anyway, that's going to be a lot of fun. And we've never done one, so it's good to be doing it. Had some interesting things happen in Riggins this week. I was there until yesterday, came back here to the Nampa area. Rattlesnakes are very dominant right now, very large. Woodchucks are also out, and woodchucks are actually yellow-bellied marmots. And they are often called either woodchucks or rockchucks. And we have one here at our place in, they're big rodents. They're big suckers. There's a picture of one. Um, there's when they sit up, they look really cool. They can be from 4 pounds up to 11 pounds. Um, ours has got a big white spot on its top of its head right here where I'm showing my cursor. Um, and we joke about it because we say he's must have bred with something other than a yellow-bellied one, another different kind, but they're all really the same species. Um, and they're fairly, wow, I get all these weird calls from places, and I have one coming in now from a place I've never heard of in Colorado, which is weird. Campa, Colorado, never heard of it. But they're playful. You wouldn't want to try to make them pets.
They're poisonous, right?
No, no, no.
Oh,
They
they're not? Okay.
literally eat plants, and there it is. Yellow-bellied marmots as pups are small and cute, typically emerging in June and July. They're babies, which means we probably got babies under somewhere underneath our house or whatever. Um, and again, we have them up in the mountains at our place in Riggins. Also, the other thing we're seeing lots of, and we killed a bunch in the last 2 weeks, are rattlesnakes. And we have species up there that are not very big. And I believe the rattlesnakes that we had in Colorado were much bigger, and they must be a different species. The Great Basin, which is the only venomous snake in the state. And here's what they look like, but they're really very small. Here it says there's two kinds. That's a much bigger snake there. Wow. It can even be found in up to 9,500 feet. That in Colorado, they never would be found at that altitude.
Wow.
We always used as a rule of thumb that 6,000 feet.
So these are like desert snakes right now.
Yeah,
Eight.
they're desert. They live in drier climate.
Okay.
Um, it's interesting that they'll be up to 9,500 feet in Idaho, because I think in Colorado you won't find rattlesnakes above 6,000 feet. I'm going to put that in as a search.
And by the way, we have some new people come in, and you can either type in or unmute to ask your question or
Yeah,
raise your hand.
I'm going to put what altitude is the highest you'll find. You would find rattlesnakes.
Yes.
I bet it says 6,000 or around that. It's saying 10,000 feet. I guarantee you will not find them that high in Colorado. Yeah, anybody that's new, please tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, If you'd like to unmute, we can do that for you. I almost here is at 7,000 feet. Rattlesnakes do not go past a certain altitude. I actually believe that it's closer to 6,000 feet. What parts of Colorado ever? Let's run.com. 9 people bitten by rattlesnakes in Colorado above 6,000 will be happy to know that Colorado does not have rattlesnakes. Oh, yeah, see, it's saying 9,000 feet. There's at 10,000 feet. There's one, a picture of one. I've been in the high elevations in Colorado above 10,000 feet many, many times. I've never encountered a rattlesnake. There's one at 10,500, 9,200, 11,000. 9,600. So obviously they can be a lot higher. Well, that's something I really learned here. I was thinking that they'd be a lot lower. $7,500 in Montana. Yeah, people are saying, well, 9,000, 11,000, Wasatch in near Salt Lake City. So obviously it's not so accurate that they're that low of elevation on the. Well, we are getting close to the top of the hour. If anybody's, do you see any more questions from anybody, Mark? This has been fun.
Yeah, Alicia put in any thoughts about 50 years of impact through water cycle restoration at Tarun Bharat Singh. Okay, so Indian waterman of India. So she has a YouTube video.
Notice that our otters are gone. It's like they cut out at a certain time.
Yeah, others are they leave after 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's 40 minutes. I don't even know why
Yeah,
it's 40.
right. And there's someone named GAFB, and the Free and Open University Ecosystem Sustainability.
Having something this Saturday, yeah, 11 to 1 Pacific time.
June 7 is in the past, right? Today's 12th.
No, yeah, yes, that was last. Remember, this is a fellow we've had on before. We've
Yeah.
talked with him.
Oh,
He
okay.
he told us about. Remember, he told us about these events that he has. That he's
Correct. Yes.
he's in the Los Angeles area. But
Right.
you're a little bit late on the last one here,
Yeah.
GAFB. It's way past the 7th.
Yep.
He said, don't know how the mic works. Well, that's going to
I
be
can
on your
unmute. Yeah.
computer.
I
Yeah.
just unmuted you. You can now you need to, yes, tap on your mic and
Now it seems to be working.
yes.
Yeah. You've talked with us before, I think, on another one of our sessions.
Yeah, hi Wayne, and
Yeah.
hi everyone.
Hello.
Good that you guys still here.
Yeah, it looks like you've got the wrong date here. You have one this Saturday too. You've got one from
I'm a,
but
yeah, that was the last one. Just to give, but there is a podcast, and the link is in the podcast if you like to
oh,
hear
cool.
what. I didn't have a guest on that date. Usually we have a guest, but we are grassroots. We don't have oil money or corn money or soybean money or any of the other monies going around. So it's whoever we can find, good willing, with a good heart, and with a good disposition to a solid background and a good disposition to go over these issues that we are facing. We are living a world to our children, and that's absolutely out of the pale. It's horrendous, possibly at the end of extinction, and worse than that. By the way, we might have another war coming that weekend. So it has been a tragic 500 years. We don't seem to be able to hit the nail on. We hit everything else other than the nail. It's
Well, thank you for
500
coming
years
on
of
and being with us. Thank you for being here.
say again. Yeah.
We've passed our time here, so we thank you and just glad you could.
Oh, all right. It's glad to see you. I just was
Well,
taking a break and saw your message. Yeah.
Mark,
Bye,
why
Trip.
don't you, Mark, reach out and schedule him to be a guest at one of ours.
I'm a different time zone,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
I'm working, so it's
Yeah.
whatever time I can find
Yeah,
out
we
here and
can
there. So, and I do it
Sounds
schedule something that works for you, and
Well,
that
thank you,
won't be a
Solar
problem.
Tony.
Yeah.
something
All
that
right.
works for me. That would be mostly the weekends, and sometimes here and then I'll think I'll do. Thanks for
Sounds
Sure.
good.
thanks for the
Sounds good.
reminder.
Appreciate it. All right.